member for Newtown.
Thank you, Speaker. I rise as a member of the Joint Select Committee tasked to consider One Nation's so-called Religious Freedoms and Equality Bill to express my extreme concerns. The manner in which this inquiry processed, the hearings and the deliberative was conducted was an absolute disgrace. And this report and the recommendations are so flawed that I do not believe that this House should note it at all, and that is why I will be calling a division to that effect. From the beginning of the hypocrisy of having One Nation, a party that is overtly Islamophobic and transphobic, proposing to protect people from discrimination and advance equality, was laughable. Then, to have a committee made up of a large majority of the parliamentary friends of religious freedoms made it clear that the lack of genuine inquiry that would take place into this report. Throughout the inquiry, members showed a complete disregard for the committee processes, voting as a bloc together to exclude witnesses who opposed their views, and then removing references to evidence that they did not agree with from the final report. The debacle of the final deliberative in the minutes can be captured. Witnesses who did not agree with the group were treated appallingly in the hearings. One law expert was called disgraceful for raising concerns about the bill, and a senior medical professional was called a bigot for warning of the risks to fair access to medical treatment by women seeking to access terminations. Many witnesses reported to me that they felt bullied and harassed by participating in the process. Seeing One Nation, the independent member for Wagga Wagga, and the members of the Liberal, National and Labor parties attempting to rewrite history by altering the evidence and removing analysts drafted carefully by the secretariat staff was appalling. The process issues were real, but it is not just that, as we have heard from the member for Sydney. At some point, this parliament needs to push back on homophobia spouted by people in this place and the other place. We need to push back on the sexism, and we need to push back on the bigotry, and that starts now. We need to stop caving in to the bullying tactics and the parliamentary abuse that occurs under the guise of people being members of parliament and so-called freedom of speech when it comes to attacking and harming vulnerable people in our community. There was broad recognition across witnesses that there is a need to protect people from discrimination on the basis of their religious beliefs. This is something that the Greens support, that the whole committee supported. But this One Nation bill does not just do this. It creates more risk of discrimination than it does address it. And it is shameful that Liberal, Labor Party members, joined with independent member for Wagga Wagga, are backing this One Nation bill. It is crucial that our Anti-Discrimination Act does not give one protected attribute supremacy over another. I urge this Parliament, I urge the Attorney General to disregard this report and recommend that the government undertake a broad-scale review of the Anti-Discrimination Act, including inserting religious beliefs as a protected attribute, as well as overhauling other aspects to provide adequate protection to the rest of the community.
I thank the member. I call the member for Wagga Wagga.